Hello everybody, you're watching Absu Studios. So a couple weeks ago, I uploaded a video of the things to come in 2020, and one of those things was a Clone Wars Season 7 custom minifigure series. So basically, if you don't know what a custom minifigure series is, I basically digitally drew 16 minifigures and made my own collectible minifigure series based off of the characters from Clone Wars Season 7. And that is what this video is going to be about. Today I'll show you the 16 minifigures that I've been working on since early September. So let's get into the video. Starting off, the first minifigure in this series is Ahsoka Tano in her Mandalore appearance. She has two accessories with her lightsabers in the new blue color that we see in the trailer. And she has a new headpiece that I made, which is longer than the ones Lego made. And you can see the little tech headpiece at the top of her forehead. This figure has a little interesting story to it. When I first made it, I was working off of concept art. I do not recommend ever working off of concept art. But because when I did, they ended up changing the design of her. And so since I was working off of concept art, I had to redesign most of the figure. The torso and the headpiece were off color, and the headpiece was too short in my opinion, and I was not happy with the color, so I updated it, and I think it looks a lot better now. This was the first minifigure that I drew for the series, so as we move on, they will progressively, most of them will progressively get better. Anyways, that's the first figure in the series. The second figure in the series is also Ahsoka Tano, but this one is in her Coruscant appearance. So here she is wearing gloves and rolled up sleeves on her jumpsuit. She has the belt, and her headpiece is the same as the Mandalore one, except instead of the printed tech thing on her forehead, she has a little brown headband type thing on her headpiece. The face is the exact same, except the lips are in a happy position. This figure has no accessories because by the trailers I couldn't see that she had any accessories related to her. But anyways, let's move on. Third figure in this series, we have Anakin Skywalker. And so this figure is pretty much a Revenge of the Sith appearance, because with both Obi-Wan and Anakin, their Clone Wars Season 7 appearances look exactly the same to their Revenge of the Sith appearances. So with his hairpiece, I gave him a new hairpiece, which is the Lloyd hairpiece in brown, which I think fits Anakin a lot more than the other hairpieces that he's had. On his arm, he has his robotic hand printed onto it, and you can see the different shades of brown on his robes and his boots. As his accessory, he has a blue lightsaber. At number 4, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi. Once again, this is the exact same design of Revenge of the Sith, and his accessory is the blue lightsaber like Ahsoka and Anakin. And I don't know what it is about this figure, but I could never be satisfied with it. I kind of just left it just kind of what I felt unfinished. I felt like the beard or like part of his robes were like just a little off, but I could never figure out what to do with it, how to improve it. He has no arm printing, which is I think the only figure in this series without arm printing. He has the same hairpiece as the normal sets do, and you can look and see some detail on his belt, which once again resembles his Revenge of the Sith appearance. At number 5, we have Hunter, the leader of the Clone Force 99, but also known as Bad Batch. This is probably my least favorite figure in the series. I couldn't get the helmet right. Once again, like with Obi-Wan, no matter what I did, I could never get it to look right. His accessories are a small pistol, and he also has a vibro blade. Even though I'm not happy with the helmet, I think the arm printing and the printing on the torso and the legs, I think though that came out really well. And he has an alternate hairpiece, and the hairpiece is a new piece that resembles Cole's man bun from the Ninjago movie, but it is without the man bun. But on the printing of the figure, you can see he has the skull tattooed onto his face, and the headband that comes with the hairpiece, you can see a red hairband with the Bad Batch logo on it. Next up, we have another member of Bad Batch named Tech, And this is definitely one of my favorite minifigures in the series. I think it came out really, really well. When you look at it, it's kind of like a jumbled up, just a lot of stuff going on with his body. But I just think the printing and everything just came out really, really well. I'm really proud of this figure. You can see the Bad Batch logo on his shoulder, and you can see the Arabesh symbols for 99. He has a new backpack piece, which has 2 antennas on the back. He has his glasses printed onto his face, and he has just the classic Lego hairpiece. For his accessories, he has 2 pistols. I decided not to do a helmet for this figure, just because I thought it looked really good without a helmet. Next, we have another member of Bad Batch, the sniper specifically, who is named Crosshair. His accessory is a blaster with a lightsaber piece attached to the end of it to make it look like a sniper. I made a new helmet piece, and you can see the antenna piece that is attached to his helmet. He also has a new shoulder pad piece, which goes on each side, one with a little point on the side, and the other side has the Bad Batch logo and the 99 Arabesh in it. He also has a pauldron piece, and the printing on this figure I don't feel like is as good as Tech or Hunter, but I do feel like this figure did come out well. He has an alternate hairpiece, which is just the old Han Solo hairpiece. It's just a common hairpiece, and you can see that on his face he has the bullseye or crosshair tattooed onto one of his eyes. And finally, the last figure that is part of the Bad Batch, which is Wrecker. Now, his helmet is the classic racer type helmet that we see in LEGO City and Speed Champions, but the visor has printed on it, and you can see a little bit where the visor is, and I think this helmet came out really well. It's not a traditional type helmet, but I do think it still came out good with the skull type printing on it, and then of course the 99 on the top of the helmet. His torso and arms are very similar to Hunter, if not like almost exactly the same, but his accessories include a normal blaster and his machete that we can see in the unfinished episodes. The 9th figure in this series is one of the Martez twins named Trace Martez. We see this character in the Clone Wars trailer. She's the one who says, "Why would anyone want to walk away from being a Jedi?" But besides the few voice lines in the couple scenes we've seen in the trailers, we don't know much about these twins. And the hairpiece is a new piece, which is kind of like a partial afro, and she also has she has the goggles printed onto her face, but she also has the alternate face that it has no goggles. At number 10, we have the other Martez twin. This one's named Raffa Martez. Like her sister Trace, we don't know much about these characters. We see her running away from an explosion in the trailer, but that's pretty much it we know about her. I gave her a new hairpiece, which I think actually came out really, really well. She has a bracelet on one arm, and she's wearing a vest for her torso where you can see the green, a little bit of the green under it, and she has the necklace that Trace also has. Coming in at number 11, we have my favorite minifigure in this series, which is Captain Rex. I just really love how this character came out. Put a lot of work and time, especially into the helmet. Took me quite a long time to make this figure. And the helmet piece is a new piece because the old one did not allow for antenna, and this one does. As his accessories, he has the twin blasters. And on both his helmet and his arms, you can see the number tallies. He has a pauldron piece, and he also has a new type of like leg cape piece which goes around his legs, and I also made a new belt piece for his belt, and you can see on this figure that there's a lot of dust and scuffs on this figure, and that is referencing to he's definitely not as shiny at this point. At number 12, we have Admiral Trench. Now, this figure took me absolutely forever to make. First, the dress pattern is crazy. It took me so long. It's probably not even a lot like the original design, but it took me so long to design that. And the head, it took me forever to make. The head is a new piece, which attaches to the little kind of shoulder blades. And this figure, like you can see the robotic eyes and his natural eyes, this figure just took me so long to make, and there's so much detail going into this figure. His arms are also a new piece, which resemble Rio Durant's that he has 2 arms on each side, but this one has 3. But since it's 2-dimensional, you can't see the other forearm. Taking the 13 spot, we have a Death Watch member. This figure came out really simple. No new pieces. His accessories are the blasters, and you can't see it that well, but he does have a jetpack on his back. And this figure has been made by LEGO before, but I thought I'd update it since I wanted to include a Death Watch member in the series, since we can see this guy in the trailer. Also, we saw him in season 5, but just a very simple figure. Didn't take too much time to make, but I still had a lot of fun making him. Next up, we have Bo-Katan, and this figure was another one that was relatively easy to make because of the simple design. Same Mandalorian helmet, except this one has an antenna on it, and same dual blasters, and there's the jetpack that you can't see on the back. Specifically, she has an alternate poncho piece, which has 2 little blue marks on it and some mud towards the bottom. We see her wearing this poncho in the trailer when she's on Coruscant, and there's also her alternate hair piece, and we can see the printing underneath has the same type of a little mechanical headband on her forehead, and her hair piece is just the Nia hair piece in orange, and that's about it for this figure. At number 15, almost at the end of the series, we have the 332nd Trooper. If you didn't know, the 332nd is a break off of the 501st that went with Ahsoka to battle at the Siege of Mandalore. We can see that on its helmet, it has the Ahsoka pattern, which we see in the trailers. But this figure is really simple. Besides that, it's a lot like the Captain Rex design, except this figure does not have these scuffs and dirt on him because this is more like a shiny. This is a existing headpiece, and he also just has a blaster for his accessory. And finally, the final figure of the series, number 16, is Darth Maul. As his accessory, he has his dual red saber, and you can see that he has his metal legs underneath the robes. And this figure was pretty fun to make. It was a lot of fun to design his face and all that. You can see that there are 3 colors for his eyes. There's the base orange, which is pretty hard to see. Then there's the yellow, and then there's the black pupil, and you can see like at his waist, you can see where the robot legs attach. But that is going to about wrap it up for this series. But figures that did not make the cut for the series only include a Pike, one of the members of the Pike clan, which we see in Coruscant in the trailer. That was the only figure that I had in mind to do, but I decided not to. He was kicked out by the 332nd Trooper. And another figure that I might have done is Padme. We see her in the newest trailer, but I had already finished all these figures before that trailer came out. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I know I'm at least going to do one more series in March, but I don't know if I will do more after that. If there's any types of series that you'd like me to do, make sure to leave them in the comments below. But anyway, that'll be it from me, guys, but I'll see you guys later. Bye!